This man has 87 children and 14 on the way.
They were only married 3 years and she's
years and-
trying to kill him?
Hold that thought. I have to tell you some tea immediately.
Roll up to my table and you won't believe it's Rodiculous. Not just serving cookies, now I'm spilling tea. It's Rodiculous.
Hey, little rebels, welcome back to Rodiculous. Today I'm hanging out with my sister, and as promised last week, because we didn't get to the Rodiculous reality TV news, today that is all we're going to talk about. So if you are somebody who's into reality TV, Molly has brought all the latest gossips. And if you're somebody like me who just watches once in a while because maybe your sister loves it or your friends love it and they're into it, then this will be getting you up to date about a bunch of shows that are currently going on. Because like I've said before, I'm kind of more of a scripted girly, but I do enjoy reality TV. Molly's really kind of opened my eyes to all these shows, and
I'm not
they're
sold
very
that
entertaining.
Some of them aren't also lightly scripted, so
Yeah, perhaps.
but very entertaining. I still enjoy the production value, and a lot of them are kind of like modern day soap operas.
I definitely see that. I see that. I feel that. And I feel like our mom would really love them because our mom Mama Mia loves soap operas. She is obsessed. She used to watch all of them growing up. And she's even watching some right now on Netflix. Like she's watching that El Barco, the one that's in Spanish. She doesn't even speak Spanish, but she watches it just because she likes the characters.
Well, you know what? The moms watched Suits, which I also consider kind of like a
Drama.
yeah. There's so much drama in The Office, and so she liked that.
Oh, they like it.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think we might be able to get them interested in some of these shows.
Definitely.
Okay, so which shows are you watching right now, Molly? And what's the news? What's going on?
Okay, well, one that just wrapped up that I've been watching forever, and I kind of love just even seeing the evolution of the show. It is called Married at First Sight on Lifetime, and matchmakers pair people who are looking to get married at first sight, kind of like an arranged marriage, and work through this 2-month process of getting to know each other and deciding if they want to stay married or part ways at the end of it.
Were there any that are still married?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah, I'd say maybe a quarter of the couples work out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's really fascinating. That's cool. So what's the latest with this show? Where was it based? Because each time on this show, they're like in a different
City.
state, city.
Yeah.
So where were they this time?
This time is Minnesota.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and
Did they have really cute accents?
their accents
like mom?
weren't that thick, actually. I wonder if they're more from the city.
Nobody had a cute little Minnesotan accent.
Well, you'll just have to watch it and tell me, because there was a first that happened on this. Out of 18 seasons, for the first time ever.
I just want to say it now. Spoiler alert. If you watch any reality show and you don't want to be spoiled, you might want to skip this episode. But for those of you like me who are not in the know, and I don't know
ready.
if I will get around to it, and I also I'm not even sure I'd remember. Honestly, let's be honest.
Yeah.
There's,
there you go.
There's so much space upstairs. And so who knows?
Who knows?
All right, let's get into it.
Let's go.
Okay, what's the drama, Molly? What was the first that happened after all these seasons?
So, Madison married Alan, and Michelle married David.
Okay.
And now the show, everybody does a trial live-in in the same apartment building.
Molly, let me guess. Are they having not a throuple, but what is it called when there's 4?
Swingers? I think that's just swingers.
Isn't it a quaddle or a?
I don't think that's
that's a word.
just swinging. Are you talking about a polyamorous relationship between everybody?
Yeah. Are they all married for the first time ever on Married at First Sight? Did 2 couples fall in love with 2 couples and they're all together?
No, but that would be very interesting. This time instead, Madison and Alan and Michelle and David.
All right. Okay. These are the 2 couples.
Madison and Alan on the right.
Okay.
Michelle and David on the left.
Michelle and David on the left.
So
What's
then
going on here?
David from the left and Madison from the right start becoming gym buddies and staying out till 4 a.m.
These two?
They started getting together beforehand.
So both of them have just gotten married. They're in these fresh relationships. They're living in this kind of apartment. They're getting to know each other more. And you're saying that they started cheating on each other with the other couple's person?
They start cheating.
They just got married.
They just got married. It's been a couple weeks.
How long is this show?
I think
2 months, 3
2
months.
months. It's only 2 months long. You only have to hang in there for 2 months.
Be faithful for 2 months.
For 2 months.
Like, I'm all for love, and say that you did get partnered with someone and you didn't fall in love, and it hasn't, and you haven't given, you gave it a fair shot, and it's just not right? You can't give them the respect of 2 months. I think the disrespect is what would really hurt me, because say after the show you decided to part ways, it wasn't right, and then they started dating each other, I would feel very different about that. Like, I'd feel happy for them. That,
get this.
What?
So they find out because, everybody becomes
they
friends.
find out?
It's a close relationship. All the couples hang out and get to know each other. And so one night, some of them were out drinking. And one of the wives was at home, and she gets this text from her husband. They're not sexual. She's very reserved. She hasn't kissed him. She's not sure how she's feeling about the relationship, and gets this text from her husband, who is out drinking at the bars with other people. And it says,
What it say, Molly?
"Oh my God, hold on. You are so damn fine. I just want to eat you up."
Oh, okay. If I got that from my man, I'd be excited, but
That is not where the relationship was.
If that
and she
isn't
goes,
normal for them, I'd be like,
She goes, "Who was that text meant for?"
she clocked it.
She clocked it, and
She knew.
And he lies. He lies to everybody. He lies to the experts. He goes, "Oh, my cousin sent me a food pic, and I was saying I wanted to eat up the food pic." A picture of food. He said, "You are so damn fine. I just want to eat you up." And he tries to say it's to his cousin over food.
I'm sorry. I hate when guys lie.
I hate a bad lie. It's like, if you're going to lie, put some effort into it. Your cousin did not text you a picture of food when you're out at 2 a.m. at the bar drinking, and you're saying you look so damn fine. Oh, my God. And so this wife
I
was
hate
like,
liars. I just hate them on all types, and especially when there's a guy who thinks that he's a great liar, and you can see right through him. I mean, he said he was texting that about food to his cousin.
yeah. And
There
she
is no
goes,
way.
no, sir.
No.
And you know what this queen does?
What did she do?
She calls that cousin.
I just spelled this. Mike, can you throw me a towel?
Literally spilling the tea.
I
literally spilling the
spilled
tea
all
over
over my chair. I spit it out. I love how direct she is, and how
Yeah.
she's not afraid to just, hey, let's get to the truth.
She's
let's
like,
get to the bottom
she's like,
of
if it looks like a skunk,
Mike.
it smells like a skunk. That's a skunk.
That's a skunk. And where do skunks sleep, Molly?
outside.
Skunks sleep outside. That's where they sleep.
So she calls up this
How'd
cousin,
that go?
and she goes, "This didn't seem right." And the cousin goes, "I'm not going to play you like that. He texted me and said that he needed me to cover for him, but I did not text him any food." And she goes, "Thank you. I knew it. Knew it." Then after he knows he's been busted about the food picture, he goes, okay, wife, it was this other girl, and I just met her. It was just a message, and that was my bad, and I deleted her contact. I don't have her contact anymore."
Okay.
And she's still like, "That's not right."
I wouldn't believe anything this man is saying, because
Yeah.
after the trust has been broken, you're at ground zero there. How do you trust somebody, especially when you've just met them, and then you're, thrown into a relationship that's extremely serious, like you've made vows, you're married, it's fresh, and then he's lying to you already? Like, he can't even be faithful for a few weeks.
Yeah.
He's got issues. And
Oh.
I mean, that's a lifetime of issues. That's just, it's not even about like, oh, you didn't find the right person or something. It's like, I feel sorry for every person that he's ever romantic with in the future, because if he can't be faithful for a few weeks, even if he is in love, if he finds the woman of his dreams and he's in love, how is he going to act for years?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
the marriage has not ended. This text has been sent, which to me, completely crosses a line.
Yeah.
He tries to say it's another girl that's been deleted from his phone. And then they go on an all couples retreat where all of the couples go to this house.
That's my favorite part of this show. It's when everyone gets coupled, you see them kind of like growing together as a couple, or you see that they are fundamentally different. Like there's some deep values that are different and it's maybe not going to work. But I love when they all get together. Like all the couples get together and they hang out. And I love it because they're all going through the same thing and experience. So they can really kind of like have other people to talk to about, you know, this wild ride that they're on. And I love it, but I also love the dynamics because you can really tell like when the girls go off and the guys go off separate, I feel like you can really tell and get a good insight into which couples respect each other. And not even I'm talking about being in love and lasting forever, but just like which people respect each other. Because I was shocked by how some of the guys would talk about the girls and vice versa. Some of the women talking about the men in just such disrespectful ways. This is where, for me, it gets really messy and interesting because I just think it's fascinating.
It's wild. So they're all together, and I want to be best friends with Michelle because this girl needs to be a detective. She has the best spidey senses in the world.
I'm hiring her. She's a new journalist for our show.
Yeah, she's better than a bloodhound. Better than a bloodhound.
We
That
love
woman's
a
knows.
bloodhound.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
So she gets there and she goes, something's not sitting right with me about his story still. She goes, he works out at the gym with Madison all the time.
Oh.
She was thinking he was out with Madison the night the text was sent.
Oh.
She said it's M and an M, and if he's intoxicated and trying to text a girl he's looking at, and it starts with it's close to my name, did he just send it to me on accident and he was
my
trying to send it
gosh.
to Madison? She goes, this is crazy. I'm crazy. That's too crazy. There's no effing way.
I think that that's a common sense. I think she's putting together the dots, putting together the facts.
And then she confronts him. He denies it. She confronts Madison being like, am I crazy? Is there something I need to worry about? And Madison goes, no way that was meant for me. Like, no,
The
no.
girl lied to her too.
To her. I
This
think it
poor
went back and
woman.
forth because each time she talked to them, she was like, well, that doesn't make sense. I need to go check in. Well, that doesn't make sense. I need to go check in.
So these two are just gaslighting this poor woman the
They
entire
are pouring
time.
gasoline all over the place. And finally,
so
she's
disrespectful.
talking to Madison, and she goes, well, if there's nothing weird, can I see your texts with him? Because I know you guys texted to meet
Yeah.
up and go to the gym. Can I just look it over?
That would squash it right there. Sure, yeah, look up the phone.
Madison goes, oh, I don't have any text from him, see? And she was like, you deleted your texts
Oh?
with him?
Oh?
And Madison was like, and Madison cracked. She cracked. She went to David after that and was like, we need to fess up. Like, we need to tell them they're onto us. It's getting awkward. She got confronted like 4 times on this thing before she finally got caught by bloodhound Michelle
This
over
is
here.
a show where you're married. We are going to take a super quick break right here to talk about one of this week's sponsors, LMNT. I'm someone who's constantly told by my doctor that I need to drink more water, especially water with added electrolytes. Healthy hydration isn't just about drinking water, it's about water and electrolytes. You lose both water and sodium when you sweat. Both need to be replaced to prevent muscle cramps, headaches, and energy dips. But most people only replace water. Why? Because since the 1940s, we have been told to drink 8 glasses of water per day, thirsty or not. However, if you're someone who is very physically active, or you're like me and you need more electrolytes because you're running around all day, just drinking water may not be enough. Enter LMNT, created by former research biochemist Rob Wolf and Ketogains founder Luis Villaseñor. LMNT has enough sodium, potassium, and magnesium to get you feeling and performing your best. Plus, it has 0 sugar, artificial colors, or other dodgy ingredients to hold you back. Love. You're also guaranteed to find an LMNT flavor that you love. You can try some fan favorites like citrus salt and raspberry salt and get spicy with mango chili, or mix chocolate salt into your morning coffee for a delicious mocha. LMNT is offering Rodiculous listeners a great offer. Just go to drinklmnt.com/Rosanna to get a free sample pack with any purchase. Again, go to drinklmnt.com/Rosanna HomeDepot.com/Rosanna to get a free sample pack with any purchase. That's like emotionally damaging. And for both of them, the man and the woman, to be gaslighting her, I cannot believe. I mean, woman to woman, if a woman came to me and asked me like, hey, be real with me, you know, it's my heart. Like, let me know. How could you not be honest with her and look out for her? Like, where is the sisterhood? Like, some guys are sleazy. That guy, you know, that guy does, you know, he can't be faithful to save his life, it sounds like. So, you know, screw that guy. Gross. And the next woman
Him
who
and
ends
the
up
girl
with
are
him,
apparently still together. It's a year later, and they're still together.
I was gonna say, yeah, whoever ends up with him, that girl or whatever, just know you were in for a lifelong cheater. That is a man that you will never be able to feel comfortable and respected, like, ever, because if he can do it to one woman, he could do it to you.
To one
It's
woman
a character thing.
on national TV, lies so many times about it, get caught so many times, and still just lying through your teeth.
It's all filmed. Like, it's on national television. Like, did they really think that they're so sneaky and such great liars that they wouldn't get caught?
Yeah, my thing with somebody like that who's like so committed to a lie, when it's so obviously a lie, what little stuff will they lie about?
Everything.
Yeah, like that's such a big thing to lie about. A piece of food that your cousin sent. Like, what else are you going to lie about?
I just think that life is so difficult and so stressful on its own. You know, the things that you go through in life are so difficult and stressful. Like when you lose someone, or someone could lose a job, or, you know, like life is tough on its own, that you don't need to be stressed out by your partner. Like, your partner is supposed to be like on your team, same team. Like, that's supposed to be your solace. That's supposed to be your rock. That's supposed to have your back. You're supposed to trust each other. That's not someone that you need to be worried about. Like, are they screwing me over too? Ew, what a waste of time. That's not a partner. And being on the same team doesn't mean that you have to agree about everything. Like, you can have different opinions than your partner, but it means you're there for each other. Like, you're there to support each other and help each other, and not be against them and undermining them and breaking trust and things like that. All that disrespect doesn't ever need to happen in a relationship. Even when there's disagreements, you don't need to be disrespectful about it.
Yeah.
That is wild, Molly.
Insane. It's insane. It reminded me of one of your high school boyfriends,
Well, I know exactly.
to be honest.
Okay, I saw the picture and I was like, I know exactly who you're talking
that's
about.
true. Yeah.
I saw the picture and I was like, oh my gosh,
Yeah.
yes. And
For several reasons.
Same thing.
So that was a first this year for Married at First Sight.
All right, Molly, what shows do we have next?
Okay, I know you don't watch this one, but I am obsessed. It has so many
Farmer's Wife.
spin-off. No. On TLC, it's 90 Day Fiance. So the premise of 90 Day Fiance is that if an engaged couple gets the visa to come over, they have 90 days to get married. Otherwise, the person has to go back to their home country.
Wait, there's visas involved on this?
Yeah.
This is messy.
Because when you marry somebody internationally and they come over, you have 90 days to get married. So it's called 90 Day Fiance. So it pretty much films people's journeys who
An international love relationship.
Yeah, coming to the United States within that 90 days. And it's like kind of like a pressure cooker. A lot gets worked out. So it's kind of interesting to follow people's
on
journeys.
Its own. That's
Yeah.
already stressful.
Yeah.
And then throw
add
a
cameras.
reality TV show on it? Oh, geez.
But now there's like 90 Day the other way. So people moving to other countries from the U.S., getting engaged. There's
What do you mean? People from the U.S. like moving to like to England or something? They're,
Yeah.
like, so now it goes both ways.
Yeah, now
the
there's
show.
before the 90 days, so it's people hoping to get engaged. It's a whole it's a rabbit hole. It's an amazing rabbit hole. Okay, I love it.
Okay, so what's going on with this new season? How many seasons they got of this show?
I believe there's 10 seasons of 90 Day Fiance.
Okay, right on.
Okay, so this bit of news is afterwards of one couple. A gentleman went on there who calls himself the most famous sperm donor.
He's wearing a T-shirt in this photo that I'm holding. If you guys are listening to the podcast, listeners, he's wearing a T-shirt that says "sperm donor" that Molly has showed me. So
And
okay,
his Instagram handle too, because he didn't have a lot of luck in dating, he said, and so he decided, and he
that this would help.
Well, apparently he has super sperm. He takes all these supplements and like I don't know. I guess he's like a very fertile man, and I'm not sure how he found that out. But he decided that, you know, all these people wanted to have babies and sperm banks were costly and fertility treatments are costly, so he will run around and impregnate a bunch of women. And he said he'll do it the regular way, he'll do it the cup way if they want, but otherwise he has a whole system how he impregnates them.
Wait, what's the cup method?
What, well, you know, kind of like a sperm bank where you go in a cup and then
Yeah, okay.
gets
You
inserted.
ejaculate into a cup, and then what do you? Why is it? Then what do you do with it?
I don't know. I haven't had a
pour it in
services.
there?
Maybe like, you know, the quote unquote turkey baster thing. Like, I don't know.
What? They take
Like,
a turkey baster.
no, like, you know,
and
haven't you-
they do that?
No, I don't know what
I don't
they
know
do.
shit about
I don't
this,
know what
Molly,
they
and this is blowing my mind right now. I don't even have kids, so
Have
this
you
is
ever
like-
heard of like IUI?
No.
Oh, okay. So that's like what some couples tried before IVF.
Okay, turkey basting it.
It's when you wait.
I mean, I am familiar with the turkey baster, Molly. I am a baker. I'm a cook. I
Yeah,
know
but
my
that's
food.
the-
So
that's the
I mean, I get the
visual.
concept. Yeah. Okay. So you scoop it up and baste it in there, huh?
Yeah.
So Molly, how many kids technically does this guy have?
This man has 87 children and 14 on the way from around the world in all different countries around the world. Like, he's international.
They need to know this, because what if they fall in love with their sibling? They need to know that they're related, because they could like, you, if you have that many kids, you could accidentally. Do you know what I mean?
Ooh.
Right?
Well, anyway, this man went on the show and was dating this sweet woman. She fell in love with him, and they got engaged. But then he refused to give up impregnating other women, and so they broke up. I know, he wouldn't stop. It's like his hobby. It means a lot to him. Like I get that part. But can you imagine your fiance who's in love with you be like, I cannot stop begging other women. I'm sorry. You're asking me to give up my hobbies. Like,
I actually think it's kind of sweet of him to help people who are having a really hard time, who, you know, with fertility, like to help them get pregnant. I think that that's actually very sweet. I think what's kind of weird for me here is that if he's about to get married and his partner, who he loves and respects, is telling him that, you know, hey, if you continue to do this, it kind of makes me feel like, I don't know if I feel comfortable with it, and it makes me feel a certain way. I just can't imagine not taking your partner's feelings into consideration if, like, that's your person. Like, that would be really hard for me too. Like, if something was a huge deal breaker and it was like a big deal and not a small deal, you know, don't sweat the small stuff. But if it's something like, hey, this really is an issue for me, it makes me kind of sad that he was like, oh, screw you, I'm just going to keep doing this.
yeah, and what's kind of funny too is that he was honest about it the whole time. So she started dating him knowing that.
Oh, right. Okay.
They got engaged. She knew about it, but she just wanted him to stop or slow down or like pull back. And I don't think he could. He refused to.
If you can't get your man to stop impregnating every woman he meets, it's kind of a red flag for me. It sounds like, Molly, he thinks it's his God-given mission to repopulate the world. So
Yeah.
it sounds like he's going to need somebody who's on board with that.
Yeah, I mean, maybe there's a different religion out there for him or something.
I don't know, Molly, but I just really hope that he keeps in contact with all of them. So, like, what if his kids, he gets so many kids, like, what if they end up going to college together? What if they end up making out with each other at a party and not even knowing it? Like, I really hope there's some kind of a system going on over there.
Did you hear about that one fertility clinic that the doctor used his sperm for like
everyone, and
hundreds of
he has, like,
kids?
100 kids.
I'd be so paranoid
So
because that's in
pissed.
one place. At least this guy goes international in like all different states.
I don't know
that
if
was
that's better.
the same. Well, then you're closer to your siblings. You're
Right,
in
right,
closer
right, okay.
proximity. There's so much higher chances of really weird stuff happening.
That's terrible. Could you imagine that you meet
So
the love
bad.
of your life, you get married, you have your first kid, you move into your first house, and you're like, you know what we should do, babe? We should do 23andMe. Wouldn't that be so
Your
funny to
siblings.
see what our backgrounds were going to be like? And you get your blood test back, and you're related, like your brother, sister. Like, I Humans are so messy. Like, just the human species in general, we're just so messy.
You go to the doctor, and he's just putting his babies in
Professional
you.
doctor. And you're like, hi, can you...
Psychopath.
You think he's putting your husband's sperm in you, and he's putting his sperm? What
You
a
are
creep.
paying him.
I'm paying
to
him
put
top dollar to do this. What a creep.
And he's just like,
Humans are so weird.
They're so weird.
There's some out there that are just so creepy. I'm like,
you know how
ew.
thought through that has to be? Like, especially if you work with nurses and stuff, you have to like switch labels.
You think
have
that
to like.
doctor was married and he had a wife?
Oh my God, I have no idea.
I feel so bad for her. I'd get the ick so much. I would right then and there. They call it, Molly, like, you know, for guys, they call it like a boner killer. Like if someone does something that's just like, ew, you know, like that. But for women, they call it, they say it makes, you know, it makes them dry up. Makes it drier than the desert.
Okay.
It's the opposite of a boner killer.
Okay, got it.
We are going to take a quick break right here to talk about another one of this week's sponsors, Cell Being by Verso. As we all know, this summer is just around the corner, and I personally plan to spend a lot of time outside and at the beach. That's why I've been using Cell Being by Verso. It has research-backed ingredients that trigger your body's ability to lose fat and fight the effects of aging. These ingredients have been shown in human studies to boost metabolism and to help burn fat. It also helps regulate hunger hormones, which can suppress hunger and increase the feeling of being full, curbing cravings. After taking Cell Being for some time, I don't feel as hungry throughout the day, and while I love to bake and eat sweets, I have always tried to enjoy them in moderation. It's even helped me with my energy levels. Plus, Verso publishes third-party test results for each batch produced, so you know you're getting exactly what you're paying for. Here's what celebrity trainer Thomas DeLauer has to say. Cell Being has been exciting, to say the least. I knew that I could expect some improvements, but what I did not expect was clear thought, more energy, and better sleep. Click the link in the description or head over to ver.so and use coupon code ROW at checkout to save you 15% off your first order. That's ver.so and use the code ROW at checkout to save 15% off your first order. Okay, sorry, we digress. Now we're going to get back into some more reality news. Molly,
Speaking of boner killers, this would kill my boner.
okay, is it this man?
No, so this I actually have never seen myself, but the news was worthy.
So hot, we had to go over this. Okay, so what show is this from?
Yeah, so this is Aaron Goodwin. He is from the TV series Ghost Adventures.
Oh, Ghost Adventures?
Yeah, so he goes around and hunts ghosts. His wife of 3 years, Victoria Goodwin, was just arrested for conspiring to commit murder on him. She wanted to turn him into a ghost. And
This is nuts.
3 years of marriage.
They were only married 3 years and
3
she's
years
trying to kill him?
Oh, and get this, they found a bunch of text messages between her and an inmate who was gonna do it.
How did she get his number? This inmate. What's going on?
I don't know. It said that
What is happening?
Oh, get this, it's in Florida, of course, Florida man, Florida woman.
Wait, they're based in. Okay, hold on. Whoa. I'm processing. Okay, so ghost hunters, ghost adventures. Wait.
Ghost Adventures.
Okay, isn't Ghost Hunters a show?
Yeah, I'm sure it's another show, but we're talking about hunters.
Hold on, I'm processing this. Goes to the very beginning.
I'm sorry, this is a lot.
I broke your brain right here.
Yes, Ghost Adventures.
Yeah.
And then the host of the show, Aaron, his wife, they live in Florida, and she is just made the news for conspiring to murder him with some dude from jail?
Yeah.
Okay, so what's the deal? What did he do? Why did she want to murder him?
She tried to ghost him.
Stop. actually believe in ghosts? Does
He made a job of hunting them or whatever.
Wait, but you said ghost adventures, not hunters. So are they hunting the ghosts like Ghostbusters, or is it just ghost adventures where he talks about ghost tales? Or I don't think I understand the premise of this entire show. I think I'm a little bit lost. You made me cry. I'm sorry. I'm literally crying right now. I just don't get it. Okay, well, it has ghosts.
Doesn't matter at
Okay, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Doesn't matter at all.
So why is she trying to murder her husband? What's going on? Is this show, she's over this show? She's like, I'm done with this.
So the investigation began when police in Florida reported that they found a text message exchange between Victoria and an inmate from prison inside the state. According to the police, back in October, she set aside $11,500 to pay the inmate. So this guy's life, I mean, $11,000 to pay the inmate and agreed an upfront payment of $2,500. Police are working with the assumption that she wanted out of the 3-year marriage, but not in the traditional way. One of the text messages read, "Am I a bad person because I chose to end his existence, not divorce?"
Yes.
Yes. That makes you a bad person.
You are. That's evil. That's
End
crazy.
his existence and not divorce? Yeah. Yes.
Yes.
Just it's been 3 years. Who cares?
File a piece of paper. It's not that hard.
Oh my God.
Okay, so for anyone listening, obviously we know this, but you know, if you're in an unhappy marriage and you'd like out, file. Get a great lawyer and file. Don't try to kill somebody. That's crazy. Most likely you'll get caught. And evil.
Victoria is reportedly being held on a $100,000 bail and is still in custody. The police reported that she admitted they were having marital problems but denied wanting to have him killed. She stated she did not remember sending any text messages about committing the crime. As for the money transactions, Victoria reportedly stated that she thought the money was for cell phones, per TMZ. So she sent $2,500 to an inmate in prison for cell phones? No, you don't remember texting the inmate about the crimes, but you remember texting him?
This woman is so messy.
Oh, I don't remember that.
Does she realize that all phone calls in prison and all letters are surveillanced? Like all the calls, they listen in on all the calls and all the letters. They read all the letters. Like all the information is recorded. So she's like, "Oh, hey, person in jail, could we order a hit on my husband?" And it's like, they read that.
And they coordinated the money. She gave him a large sum of money. Like that should trigger something.
I can't, because that's just straight up evidence. She just goes straight to jail. I mean, that is.
And then
that
says
is
she doesn't
so-
remember.
She doesn't remember.
I don't remember wiring that. I don't remember texts.
So, did she have a reason why she was just chatting with this guy in prison?
No, but she's getting him like the most upgraded iPhones, apparently.
Is she going to jail now? Has she been sentenced? What was you saying? Where does it stand
She's
now?
being held. So
She's being held right now.
She's not gone to trial yet.
Now, wait, I have one last question about Ghost Adventures.
Okay.
Is the show on hiatus? Are we
Yeah.
back? Or is he filming now? Because now she's
No,
locked
it went
up,
on
so he doesn't have to
hiatus.
worry about being murdered by her.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened, though. He was out filming the show, and there were text messages from the wife to the inmate being like, "Is it done? Let me know if it's done. He should be back at the hotel sleeping," or something. So like she was trying to have it coordinate so it would happen when he was out filming the show. So yes, the show's on hiatus for good reason.
Yeah.
And this poor man said he was devastated. He had no idea, like, and is shocked by it.
What was going on in their marriage? And also not his fault, but like that is so crazy.
Yeah.
That is so crazy. That is unhinged behavior. Molly, are there any reality shows today that I would know? What's the next one?
Well, have you been watching Love is Blind? on Netflix?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, but I haven't seen it to the end, but I'm at the part where they're still in the pods, but people are really
Okay.
pairing off. You can kind of see like who's matching up.
Do you want the spoilers?
Okay, spoiled me. Just for everyone listening, I don't mind spoilers. I don't mind them. I love them. And I think it's part of just how my brain works. I don't know if it's a part of being dyslexic or having ADHD, both those things. But for me, just the more information I get about a story or a movie or a TV show, then when I'm watching or listening to conversations about it again, it just helps me paint a full picture. So I really enjoy it.
Oh, get ready. Yeah, because then you can look for Easter eggs. Like knowing what will happen, you look for clues.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, because I do have a little bit of a slow processor, so I don't ever mind more information for me.
Well, from Love is Blind, one couple got engaged, Dave and Lauren. And they were so cute. They were such a sweet couple. They seemed to.
I love this. Okay, so if you guys haven't seen Love is Blind, this is a really cute show. It's on Netflix, and they have a group of men, a group of women, and they're in these pods, and they can't see each other, but they can speak to each other, and they go on dates, and they date like a handful of people at first, and then you narrow it down to your favorites, and basically you go on a ton of dates. They're going on dates for weeks.
Intense, deep,
living in these
emotional.
pods, really getting to the core of who another person is without seeing them. And I think the thing I like about the show, like the concept, is you're falling in love with somebody's soul versus their physical appearance. And they're not basing their opinion on looks at all.
Yeah.
Like if, for example, you typically only date, tall, dark, and handsome. And then you're put in a pod with somebody who has bright blonde hair, but you fall in love with them as a person. And then it really opens your mind to maybe be like, hey, that hair color doesn't really matter so much because who they are, that is my person. So anyways, I just really love the idea of this. Even though I think the kind of crazy thing about this show is that to get out of the pods, they have to propose. So they are actually engaged, and then they kind of live together for a couple of months. And at the end of the show, they decide if they would like to get married, if they're each other's person. And that timeline is wild, I will say, from meeting someone, getting engaged, and then staying married. It's 2 months, 3 months. It's pretty quick.
Yeah,
process
it's pretty quick. Yeah.
to meet someone and fall in love.
But you know what? Some people are still together from that show.
Yeah, and I will say there's been couples that I know, my friends, who they fell in love within a few weeks and they were married within a few months.
Yeah. Well, these guys, I think their story is interesting because fall in love, he proposes, they get engaged, she's so sweet and excited. But Dave the whole time was like, you'll have to get my sister's approval. He was very worried about his sister's approval throughout the whole process.
Oh.
And they leave the pod. They're still happy. They're, setting up meetings with the friends and starting to introduce to families. And he hears through his friend group that she was dating somebody, that Lauren was dating somebody when she got on the show. Lauren goes, no. I had a hookup buddy. We met on Tinder. Only met up a few times, very casual, definitely not dating.
Got it. Okay.
And he can't get over it.
Can't get over what?
The fact that she hooked up with somebody about a week before going on the
Before they
show and
dated?
meeting him. Yeah, before she even met him. And he goes, well, you're not going to be ready for marriage if you're just out hooking up with people and being in relationships before you come on the show. You're not taking it seriously. And she's a wreck. She is crying. She's in tears.
Is he a
He's
virgin?
like, no.
Wait. So he's not a virgin, but he didn't want her to date anyone before he met her on the show?
Yeah, well, he's like, well, my friends are saying that they heard that he said you were in a relationship, and so I don't know if I can trust you. And like she was crying. She was like, let me meet your friends. Let me talk to your sister. Like, I can explain what it really was. I think he's doing it for,
Attention,
the attention, the PR, the press, whatever.
Break them up. He might like her.
With the show. And cut to reunion. Dave apologizes to her because he finds out that guy was lying the whole time.
And he believed the dude over his person.
Essentially, his ego was bruised or hurt and he couldn't get over it. And they broke up.
That is so sad. But I think it's actually a good thing that you see a side of a guy that quickly and early on. Because you don't want to be with somebody who doesn't trust you and with somebody who, is so quickly believes outside rumors and stuff. Because then when he found out that it wasn't true, like he had already damaged their relationship beyond repair. Because when you do that, it's like, hi, I trust everyone else but you.
Well, the
And
fact
that's
that
just
it was
awful.
a year later, they filmed the reunion a year later after that show. And so that means, it was months and months and months and months of nothing. And then I guess when it started airing,
Right.
the guy was all over social media posting about it, trying to get his
Tear her
2
down.
seconds
Yeah.
of fame or whatever. And so that's when Dave was like, oh, this guy really is doing it for attention. Now that the show's airing, it's just so shitty that he didn't
Yeah.
believe her before.
I feel
And
really bad
my-
for her.
My biggest thing is that if it was the other way around, it wouldn't have even been a conversation.
No, it wouldn't, because so you're going on dates or hooking up with someone before you go onto a show, and then you go on the show and you are in it, you're ready to settle down, and you were dating before and you're not anymore. And you're ready for this next step in life, and maybe even for the possibility for this next step. It's something you're looking forward to. And then because you went on a date before the show, before they had even met, she hasn't even met this guy yet.
And you're not
And that's
paired
the
up with
double
somebody.
standard. Like,
you might
he
go
could
and not
probably
like
be
anybody
dating-
else on the show.
Right.
And
that's
just
the
go
sexist
home.
double standard, where if Molly, like you're saying,
Mm-hmm.
if he was dating someone else before the show and it ended, and and then you start a new relationship, like for her, she was hooking up with someone. It was even more casual.
Yeah, she said there
And
was
it
nothing to end.
Ended, right? Because it was just that casual, and then you're ready for something serious. Like, yeah, I do think it's a double standard, because I do
Huge.
think if a guy did it, it would be no news, because
Yeah.
she's not cheating, she's not in a relationship, and everything is ended, and she's coming in fresh and willing and wanting to be in love and to find her person for life.
Mm-hmm.
So what does it matter what she did before?
It doesn't. It doesn't at all.
I think the only blessing for her is that she got to see that side of him,
Mm-hmm.
because sometimes you don't even know that that's in somebody, that they have a big ego like that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's good to find out sooner rather than years and years down the line. You find out that your partner is not actually your partner. Your partner doesn't have your back. Your partner isn't in your corner. And it's better that I think she found out more quickly. I just think it's really sad that she found out. I didn't feel like she deserves that. But,
Yeah.
that's probably, he's a red flag.
That was
In
a
my
red
opinion,
flag.
yeah, in my opinion, he's a red flag, because
Yeah.
if you're willing to believe some random dude who's starting a rumor over your partner.
Yeah. Have you heard of Sister Wives on TLC?
Okay, I've heard of this show, and you told me that you watched this, and I have to be completely honest, I've never seen it. I understand a premise. There's a guy, and he's got a couple wives and separate families with them, and they live together but separate. So how does that work? Do they have 3 different houses? Or is there 4 houses, and they each live in the house, and then they have like party days where everybody gets together?
Different throughout the show.
Oh.
At some points, they all lived in the same house. At other points, they all were neighbors in a cul-de-sac. At another point, when they moved, they had to spread out a little bit in different houses, but then they all bought property together. But then,
oh my gosh.
but
How many
then-
wives are there? Now, Molly, get me up to speed. I need to know everything. Now, how many wives does he have now? I think when I saw it, he had I briefly skimmed an episode when I was baking one time, and I think there was 3 women, but I don't know if that's...
well, this is the breaking news. Cody Brown, the famous polygamist, he started Sister Wives because he said love should be multiplied, not divided. And he really wanted to show this side of polyamory, and he's now a monogamist. He has 1 wife. He had 4.
What? When did this happen?
He had 4.
Was that this year?
And then now he has 1. So he got 3 divorces.
Now he's a monogamous?
Now he's a monogamist, and his one wife now still wants a bigger family. And he's saying, no, will you accept me as a monogamist now? You married me as a polygamist, and now will you accept me as monogamous?
Molly,
Messy.
this is really
So
messy.
And that it's so messy, you get TV shows out of it.
Ooh, did they televise the divorces? I would.
Yeah.
That's. God.
Yeah, they did. It was 3. It was 3.
Okay, Molly, I've never watched it, but I might have to. I mean, that's.
The second one was more of just like a permanent separation because they were spiritually married, but they don't belong to their church anymore.
Oh.
And so that wife was like, I'm good. I'm just going to move out. Like, we don't need to make a big deal about it.
There was no like paperwork and stuff like that. So she was just like.
They just like kind of stopped talking to each other.
She was like, peace out.
Yeah. Well, they got in arguments and yada yada. Well, on the opposite end of that, I actually wanted to give Summer House on Bravo some props.
Okay. Oh, Molly, I just started watching this. I just got into it, and Lindsay announced she's pregnant.
That was my props. Okay,
Yes!
because the summer before, she was engaged to get married to Carl. And so now...
That's why they're saying it's awkward. I
Now-
was
and-
wondering why they were like, oh, it's so awkward. Carl's looking for her baby gender. She played a treasure hunt, baby gender scavenger
it was so
hunt.
awkward because
And they
now
were
they're
saying it's
both
awkward, and I was
back
like,
at
why
the
is it
house
awkward?
because she's pregnant with her now boyfriend, which is great news for her. Congratulations. But they're in the same house together. I don't know if I could do that.
That's very mature, Molly. I think you could do that. And here's why is because like you're friends with most all of your exes. Like Molly's so mature, you guys. Like when she ends a relationship, I don't know how she does it. She's like, you got a psych degree up there and you're just like, da-da-da.
No, well, you let people into your life because you genuinely enjoy them.
Yeah.
And if, a breakup happens because it wasn't meant to be, you can still care about somebody and be friends.
Yeah, you guys, this is a true story, but Molly invites a couple of her exes to her wedding and they come. She has them sit at a table together and I am dying. I am just like, I can't believe this is happening. But I will say that your exes are wonderful people. Like there's a handful of your exes.
Most of them.
Yeah, most. Let's just say most. There's some that are not, but the wonderful people. And after you guys stopped dating, we actually kept hanging out with them with like family and friends. And actually your husband actually hung out with a few of the guys.
Yeah.
And you guys just had like a beautiful friendship. And they were also there for me, which was really sweet too.
Yeah. Well, these two were able to do that for each other, which I think is amazing.
I really do think that this is amazing, Molly. Now that I know why it was kind of awkward for him, like that's a lot of love there, even though maybe they didn't work out as a couple, Molly.
Yeah.
That's really big.
The fact that they can just be in the house and be civils, amazing.
Yeah. Because I feel like with my exes, a few of them were wonderful, and then the rest went up in flames. I mean, that thing was terrible. Awful.
Flaming dumpster just floating out the sea.
Flaming dumpster wildfire. Just shouldn't have. I wish we had never met each other.
Well, speaking of never meeting each other, we have Paige and Craig who have broken up.
Oh no, from the summer house?
Yeah, and he's from Southern Charm. So he's in the Bravo-verse. So Paige and Craig broke up after 3 years, and she's rumored to be dating Joe DeMolio, and his fiance, ex-fiance, who you see next to him.
Oh.
Wrote something saying he was inappropriately texting somebody for 6 months before they broke up.
Who's this guy with the beard?
That's Joe, and that
Who's
is who
Joe?
Paige was rumored to be holding hands with at the Super Bowl this year.
Oh, they are holding hands, you guys. Look at this picture right here.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that makes me sad. That's a real bummer because I really liked Paige and Craig. I think a lot of people did. That's just sad.
Yeah.
You always get bummed out when like two good people don't work together because you're rooting for them.
In Vanderpump / The Valley news. Have you seen either of those two?
Okay,
on Bravo?
I know this one because I know Tom
Scandival.
Scandival, because the reality show Molly I watch
Mm-hmm.
is Traitors.
Okay, that
And
one
Molly
I haven't
has
started
not
yet. I
seen
haven't
this one.
started
So
it
this
yet.
is the one I like, and I love it, you guys, if you haven't seen it before, because it's basically the game that millennials play at parties called, some people call it Werewolf,
Mhm.
and some people call it Mafia, but
Mhm.
it's like a social game night, game. And they basically like gamified it into a TV show, Traitors.
Fun.
And it is so fun. It's so nostalgic, and it's like high budge, big scale, and it's
Mhm.
really fun to watch. Like, and just they're in Scotland, they're in a Scottish castle. It's wild. And
I'll have to watch that.
Well,
So
you really-
Scandival's on there?
okay, yes. So
Okay.
I know about him because Scandivald was on it, and they kept
Mhm.
saying Scandivald instead of Tom, and I couldn't figure this out. So I Google it, and then I go
Mhm.
back, and I'm like, oh,
Oh, that was one for
that's
the
why.
history books. Yeah.
that was wild.
Yeah. So Mr. Jax Taylor, who has been on both, and he's apparently in season 2 of The Valley as well, he just came out.
Molly, breaks. Hold that thought. I have to tell you some tea immediately. I have met Tom.
Which one?
The one with the white
Scandival.
nails. Yes.
Scandival.
Yes.
Yeah.
I met him at Lily's launch party when she was launching her new late night show,
Yeah.
A Little Late with Lily Singh.
Uh-huh.
Night before, there was a big launch party, like tons of people. It was so crazy. They rented out the whole Bootsy Bellows.
Okay.
And I lost my heel that night, Molly. That was the night I got so
Oh.
wild. I don't know where my high heel
Your
went.
shoe went
I think
missing.
it's stuck in one of those couches. I literally
so
have no
little,
idea.
it would get lost in
I
there.
had so much fun that night. But that night, walked in. Guess who was bartending? Tom.
He doesn't bartend anymore, though.
He was bartending that event.
Oh.
He was bartending at that event. That's how I saw him. And,
Okay.
and I was like staring. I'm like, why does this guy look familiar? Boom. That was him.
Yeah.
100%.
There you go.
Wow. Okay. So I have met him.
Okay.
And I think he made me a lemon drink
It's probably really good.
drop.
Like, he gets real artsy with his drinks.
I didn't even know. I just was like,
Okay.
where's this guy from?
Scandival. So,
Oh, God,
their
I
buddy.
always do this. I run into people and I don't recognize them till 3 years later.
And then you remember.
Okay. All right. So his face looks familiar, but I don't think I've run into him.
So, this is Jax. He was on season 1 of Vanderpump Rules. So,
Wait a
he's been
minute,
in reality
isn't
TV
there
forever.
A bar down the street?
Yes, that's his
Jack's?
bar. That he opened it on the Valley season 1. Yeah, so that's why it's called the Valley, because it's in the Valley where we are.
Got it. Okay. Now I get it. Okay. So what's going on with him?
He, after all those years being on reality TV, has just announced that he is 80 days sober and that he had a
He's not
former cocaine issue the whole time filming. The whole time filming. Like years. He kept this a secret. And his wife / ex-wife, they filed paperwork to get divorced. Was like, I can now finally talk about this. It's been a problem forever. And I'm like, I cannot imagine being in the public eye that long, getting so much. I mean, he was under scrutiny for so long to be able to keep that like to himself. But props to him for being 80 days sober now and finding a different path, you know?
I'm in shock. Well, good for him for talking about it. Like, dealing with those kind of things is not easy. And it's a huge struggle. And the sooner, he hits it head on, like facing those issues, then he has the best chance at, just living a healthier and happier life.
Yeah. So the rumor is that production said, hey, if you don't go get help, we're not going to film with you anymore. So if that is true, like props to production.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good for them. Because, people really love watching the messiness and, it's entertaining. But I like when production companies have, values and standards and being like, hey, okay, we're not going to continue until you go to rehab. Like
Yeah.
having people who actually look out for you when it,
Yeah.
Yeah. Hits a point where you need that. I think that's kind of amazing.
Yeah,
Because
I kinda
imagine
love
if
it.
they weren't there.
Yeah.
Not everybody has that blessing, to be someone step in and be like, hey, no.
And in other great news, Kristen, who was also an OG on Vanderpump and now The Valley, is pregnant and engaged. She wanted to get pregnant for so long, and she suffered a pregnancy loss before this. And
Aw.
so she's just so excited. She was really trying and really wanted this. So
Molly, Molly. She
Yay to
looks
her.
so happy.
Yeah.
Look at her with her little bump.
Yeah.
Today's basically reality news and also baby news. I mean, there's a lot of babies going on in the reality world.
Lots of babies.
Lots of babies.
Yeah. Speaking of more lots of babies,
What are these? How many?
Octomom. Do you remember of
Yes!
Octomom?
I remember in the news, Molly, where I remember she went in for like IVF
Mm-hmm.
and got 8 children.
8 babies. It was
Wow.
a huge scandal because the doctor who did it lost his license. He implanted
Oh, really?
12 embryos
Oh.
and 8, made it through connected. And she already had 6 children.
Molly, I had no idea that she had 6 kids before. I just
Before.
thought she had the 8.
No, she has
I-
14. 14 now.
wow.
Yeah.
14 children.
Yes. So it's Octomom because she had octuplets, but
Right.
it should be whatever quintip.
I don't even know what that
Whatever.
would be. I've never
Yeah.
even heard of it.
Yeah.
Wow. No way. So she just has this huge family.
Huge family.
So the doctor lost his license after he implanted too many embryos. That was
Yeah.
too many. Could be dangerous to her, dangerous to the baby.
And now she's saying that she wished she sued that doctor,
Yeah.
even though that was the plan that both of them had.
Mm-hmm.
And she backed him up at the time. I think looking back, maybe through a different lens, might see it differently.
Might see that, just because you want to do something doesn't mean a licensed professional, a doctor, a physician should do it just because you want it. Like
Yeah.
having that professional boundary of saying like this is extremely dangerous or unhealthy or
Well, isn't there
You
a
know,
law
like-
about that? Or is it in some states
I
about
don't
how many?
I don't know, but
I don't know
I just
either.
think that people's health is the most important. And
Yeah.
I think that doing things that's at severe risk of their health is just
Yeah.
wrong.
So her octuplets are 16 years old now, and they have a new Lifetime docuseries.
I cannot wait to watch that. I'm so fascinated to hear what's going on. Like, do you think she's dating anyone? Do you think she's married?
I don't know. I know it was a huge scandal that she was a single mom for a very long time, or she was single when she had the babies. That's why she did IVF and did it by herself. I don't know if she is now. It's probably in there.
What's the scandal? Just that she has a lot of kids?
Yeah, that it was a bad decision to have 8 kids at once. How could you possibly provide for that many children?
You know what I think's messed up is they let Mr. What's-his-face, Ryan, have 87 kids, but she can't have 14.
Well, she's taking care of all the 14. Ryan,
So she's doing
Or
more
cut.
work than him.
yeah.
Molly, when does this show come out? I'm fascinated.
It's actually airing right now on Lifetime.
What are we doing here?
I know what we're doing this weekend.
Yeah, for dinner. I'm going to like turn it on in the background when
Go
I'm making
catch up.
dinner. Yeah, okay. What else?
Okay, there's another one that I haven't seen yet that I want to see. It's called Farmer Wants a Wife on Fox. And these farmers select 5 women from like a pool of 30 and they date them and they say who fits in with their life. And Jennifer Nettles from Sugarland is the host.
No way.
I'm actually really curious about this show.
Wait, so she's a singer?
She is. She's a famous singer from Sugarland. And she has a couple amazing songs.
What else do we got, Molly?
As a younger sibling, I'm kind of obsessed with this. And I just think he has such a good sense of humor.
Look at your little smile. I just want to point out for anyone who is not looking at Molly's face, if you're just listening, she has this little grin that has spread across her face. I'm like, so Molly, tell me the news.
Did you know
You're so cute.
that there was a 4th Jonas brother?
What?
Yeah.
Where has he been hiding this whole time?
4th Jonas brother, and he's just younger than the first 3 boys, and so he wasn't in the band.
What?
Yeah, his name is
Is he?
Frankie, and he was born in 2000.
Oh my God. I didn't know that. I didn't know they had 4 brothers. I thought it was just the 3 of them.
Yeah, so there's a 4th one, and he said he hated being called the bonus Jonas growing up.
The bonus Jonas?
Yeah.
That's so mean. Kids are so mean. Well, why didn't they let him be in the band?
I think he was too young. He
could have hit a tambourine or something. They could have given him an instrument. Or
he was actually in Camp Rock 2, the final jam, and he just released in 2023 his debut single, and he played at Stagecoach. So he's starting his music career now.
So he is musically inclined.
Yeah.
Oh, that makes me so sad. I'm really happy for him now, but it makes me so sad that just because he was the younger brother, he kind of got left out. And then, like, literally, they wouldn't even let him. They could have hired him to do some dance moves.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, he's being really funny. He has a really great sense of humor because him and Kevin Jonas started the show Claim to Fame. And it's based with all of these celebrities' relatives who come together in this house and try to hide who they're related to. And you have clues to try to guess who's related to who. And it's so funny. And he's totally playing it up that he was the fourth Jonas brother. And it's so really cute.
What a cute show.
Yeah.
At the end, do you guess?
Yeah, you
Or
try
do
to
you
guess.
as you go.
Yeah, and if you keep your identity hidden the longest, you win the show.
Oh, I wouldn't be able to do
And
that.
people like Shane, Eddie Murphy's daughter, Travis, Neil deGrasse Tyson's son, Carly Reeves, niece of Tom Hanks, Jada Starr, the niece of Dolly Parton, like they've all been on the show. Like it's really funny.
Good for Frankie.
Yeah, he's making his come up. Do you want to hear other happy news?
Yeah.
Did you know there's a third Hemsworth brother?
Which ones are those?
Oh, Thor? Miley Cyrus's ex?
Oh, okay, these are the younger ones. See, Molly, when I think of like siblings, I think of like the Baldwins. You know, my head goes straight to Baldwins. So so this is the young. Okay, now who? There's a third of these guys.
Yeah.
Are they brothers? Is that why they look so similar?
They're brothers.
I've seen them in movies. I thought they were the same person.
No, they're all from Australia. They all are amazingly good looking. They all are acting in Los Angeles.
Molly, my mind is blown. I didn't know these were not the same person.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
I thought, you know how they do like CGI and stuff all in the movies and for different films they added. I thought they were CGIing this guy differently.
To look a little different.
Yeah, to look a little different depending on the role, you know, because whatever character maybe the director had in mind, maybe, it, slightly altered a little bit. And I'm like, oh, yeah, that's what I had no idea. There's 3 of these guys.
Yeah, no, Chris Hemsworth is Thor from the Avengers.
Which one's? That's him.
The one closest to me.
The bow tie. Okay, see? Okay, I recognize that.
And then there's
who's the one in the
Liam
middle?
Hemsworth in the middle. He is the youngest brother, and he was in a last song with Miley Cyrus. That's where they met and had their whole relationship. And then he's also Hunger Games.
Hunger Games. That is exactly what I'm thinking, Molly. Oh my goodness. Okay, so now the third brother, what's he up to?
He's the oldest brother, and he was in HBO's Westworld.
I love Westworld.
Yeah.
He was?
He worked on the security side.
Okay, that's amazing.
Yeah.
We need to see more of him.
Yeah. Well, he moved back to Australia to be with his family.
Oh, that's really sweet. But
back home.
Dang it, we like these bros together.
Yeah.
Are there any more brothers that we don't know about in this group?
I don't know.
Is it the 3 boys?
I think it's just the 3 of them.
They have a sister?
I don't think so.
We're just not next year. Just poop. Here's a surprise. They have a sister too.
Well, I don't know with the Kyle Gordy's running around. Maybe there's more.
I have no idea. Let's be honest though, I didn't even know there was 2 of them. So now
wild. It's like a super surprise.
Like this is literally what I need to bring you to events with me because I go to so many events and I do not know who anyone is.
Oh my god. Okay, do you know this hot
Unless
topic
it's like
news?
a huge classic celebrity that I, like Mike's mom was walking the dog and he pulled over with his assistant Bruce Willis.
Oh.
To say that Blueberry Muffin was a cutie patootie.
She is a cutie patootie.
He had to stop and say that to Mike's mom, and that was just so sweet. So obviously, I'm going to recognize, like a bit, but with a lot of, there's so many actors, Molly, and especially because of all the like streaming platforms and movies being made and shows. There's so much talent that I honestly, I can't keep it straight.
And honestly, I've seen so many accounts that are like of celeb lookalikes that I always think maybe it's somebody who looks like somebody I recognize. So I don't say hi because they might look like somebody else.
Yeah, I'm really bad with that kind of stuff. But once I get to know somebody, then I know them and recognize them. Like I personally have a connection to them, then I'm always going to be able to recognize someone. But it's like until we have that connection, it's like a blur.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Sure. Okay, one last little side story to close it out that is good news.
One little piece of dessert before we end.
Did you hear about the 2 astronauts who got stuck up in the International Space Station for almost a year? They finally made it home.
They did.
That's the good news. Yes, they finally made it home.
Oh, congratulations, astronauts. Woohoo.
Yeah. Woo.
This is the thing in the news where they were supposed to go up for like a couple days, a week. It was something supposed to be really
Yeah,
short.
short.
And then they got stuck up there for like a year.
Yeah.
What happened?
The spacecraft that was supposed to return them home was deemed unsafe.
Oh.
Yeah, so they had to wait until they could get a new spacecraft up there that was safe to return them home.
It took a year?
A year.
Did they
Because
have
you don't
enough
just have
food?
you don't just have rockets. It's the International Space Station. Yeah, it's super stocked. And the reason they had a mission to the International Space Station is because it's really easy to just send people there, restock it, come back, like short trips.
Yeah.
Do you know who made the spacecraft?
Who?
Boeing.
No.
Yeah, it didn't make it back.
Oh, no. Because I would be like, what? Why do I have to wait up here for a year?
A year.
Can you imagine how ticked off an average American would be? They get so pissed with their flight gets delayed at the airport. If like your flight gets bumped and you have to fly out on another flight like 5 hours later, they lose their mind. Could you imagine an American, just random person up in space and they're like, hey, this is supposed to be a 3-day mission and now you're here for an entire year.
Yeah, it was 200 something days. The record is 400 something days in space. But now the articles are saying they're about to get paid. So
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I'd be like, how many frequent flyer miles does this get me?
like
If
free
you lost
trips
me out in space
forever.
But they weren't by themselves, right? They had each other.
Well, they had
So
each other.
for like social interaction,
Yeah.
at least. But
Yeah.
still, like socially, only being able to interact with one person for an entire year. At least there's somebody there.
I think it's the unknowingly stuck. Like if your mission was a year and you mentally prepared for that,
Yeah, then you're in it.
but that's crazy. That's like castaway shit.
That's
Like you are just
they ever gonna come get
floating
me?
in space with no plan. Like they make movies about that.
I have a question. How come they couldn't get something up there sooner? A year is like a really long time.
I don't know. I don't know if they had to build a new one. I don't know if they have to configure it. I don't know if they need to figure out who pays for it. Like
That is wild, Molly. That should be a reality show.
Yeah.
I'd watch that. All right, that is all of the ridiculous reality news that we have. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode and enjoyed listening, and we'll see you next week.
bye-bye.
Bye-bye.